All right, y'all, we got a mandatory minicamp recap, man. We're going to touch over the last 2 days of mandatory minicamps. It just took place, and now we don't get a lot of Giants football for a couple of weeks, approximately 5 weeks. So let's dive into the recaps that we've seen so far. You've had some standout players. You got some players that you didn't really see too much on, and you got some competition already at certain positions. So let's dive straight into it, man. First player we're going to talk about is one of the most known players. It's going to be Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart is looking like he could be the quarterback two currently in this offseason juncture. Jaxson Dart is our rookie quarterback, and we shouldn't expect him to start games for us pretty soon. But to be quarterback two is honestly kind of surprising. And it doesn't have to do with his abilities or his potential. Jameis Winston should be the quarterback two in terms of signing him and making sure that Jaxson Dart doesn't see the field. But Jaxson Dart has been pretty good through training camp, and he's been getting a lot of reps with the ones, the twos, and the threes. They've been doing a good rotation with all these quarterbacks, and I'm glad they're not shying away from Jaxson Dart being out there with the starters. Now we know, once again, Malik Neighbors is that guy at the wide receiver position, and he has not been practicing for us, but we know Jaxson Dart is going to have that connection with him shortly but surely. Like, it's going to end up happening. Jaxson Dart being the quarterback two doesn't really change too much in the scenarios, but I would be shocked if the season started and he was the quarterback two, because that could be any game. Russell Wilson, hopefully it doesn't happen, can potentially be down and Jaxson Dart would be up there to start. Once you open those can of worms, you can't walk back on it. So I don't know if quarterback two would be the name of the game for Jaxson Dart. That's something we're going to have to keep an eye out. But overall, I just love that we had narratives coming out last week about Jaxson Dart having, a terrible OTAs, and, Shedeur Sanders was the name that we were obviously missing out on. By the way, Shedeur Sanders and speeding 100 miles an hour. I don't know what the guy is doing. He's definitely not helping his case. But yeah, Jaxson Dart, I'm glad. Went out there, had a couple of touchdowns to Lil Jordan Humphrey, a couple other undrafted free agents that's also taking place. Overall, I'm glad that he's getting those reps in. And once again, this is our rookie quarterback that's going to be continuing to progress. This is not his year this year. I don't think it will be. But as long as he's getting reps down, facing some NFL talent and also continuing to get better every single day, that's what we want to see out of Jaxson Dart. Now, let's talk about the people that honestly we're shining pretty bright at these mini camps so far and these off-season programs. Now training camp is still around the corner, and that's where more position battles is going to be taking place. But you have a couple guys that obviously were standing out. First person we're talking about is Jalin Hyatt. Jalin Hyatt, he did go down in the first mandatory mini camp with some type of injury that they kind of sidelined him, but overall throughout these OTAs he's been making plays. Russell Wilson's been targeting him deep. Russell Wilson has been talking about him extensively, and it's looking like Jalin Hyatt should get a lot more run this year. And it sounds repetitive because I felt like last year was that year, but this year got to be it. It has to be. Russell Wilson throwing the deep ball. Jalin Hyatt's the deep threat. It's a match made. It has to happen. And Jalin Hyatt has been getting his reps, and he's been making the most out of it so far throughout these, training programs. Hopefully he continues to keep that up heading into training camp and heading into the summer, and we continue to get ready for Jalin Hyatt to have that type of year we want. We want him to be a contributing wide receiver on this team, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be. Jalin Hyatt had a good OTAs. You've seen guys like Darius Slayton, Bo Collins, undrafted free agent, making some plays, and also a couple of different undrafted free agents. I'm looking to see Theo Johnson continue to get reps, and overall, those guys were really standing out. Dane Belton continues to be around the football no matter where he is. Dane Belton gets turnovers. He was pumping out, the treasure chest, and he still was able to make some plays these last couple of days of mandatory minicamp. It's going to be intriguing to see what we do with Dane Belton, because it looks like the defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen, likes him. But will he get a lot of rotation in? We will see. Dane Belton continues to make plays, though. Hopefully he continues to keep that up. And once again, as long as they're contributing to Giants football, that's all I want to see. He has two guys ahead of him in Tyler Newman and Javon Holland. But let's see if he can crack any type of way to be on this starting defense. Now, the first position battle I want to touch on, and I'm going to have my own separate video talking about it. I put a post, and you guys had your reactions out there. Deonte Banks is not a lock to be CB2. He is not. They're not just flat out giving it to Deonte Banks to be the opposing corner or the opposite field corner to Paulson Adebo. It's going to be between him and Cordell Flott, which is shocking. Now, Cordell Flott, once again, we've been talking about him potentially progressing as a former third-round pick. It just hasn't panned out. Deonte Banks, a former first-round pick, should be the guy starting at CB2, but they're not giving it to him, which I'm a fan of. Go ahead and get your spot. Go ahead and earn your spot. But if Cordell Flott finds a way to be on the field, it better be the right move. That's what I'm going to say right now, because there's no way Cordell Flott should be starting above a Deonte Banks. But let it happen where they can compete against one another, potentially try to battle it out and see if they can land that starting corner spot. Of course, I don't want to just give it to Deonte Banks, especially with what he did last year. It was very concerning with him giving up on plays and not being dialed in. Deonte Banks shouldn't be just given the CB2 job, but he better go earn it. He has to. And if he doesn't, the guy just doesn't have it in him. Just being honest. It's crazy to think about where we were with Deonte Banks 2 years ago and where we are now. But once again, hopefully he's locked in and he gets that CB2 spot, because that's what it should be. But that's the first position battle we're going to be watching, man. They even talked about it, and Dable, said it. It's going to be between them for CB2. They're kind of both going to be getting reps in, rotating with the ones. So we'll see who makes more plays, and we'll see who fits better in that, position. Obviously, I touched on all of the quarterbacks. I touched on these things, but Russell Wilson is a quarterback that we didn't really focus on, and I'm excited to see what he can do for this regular season. We got more than enough time to talk about that through these next couple of weeks. Once again, we got 5 weeks until training camp. Let me know down below, man, if you're pulling up to training camp. I've been eyeing a couple of prices. It's going to be a little bit of a hike for me, but maybe if I can get something down, man, let me know down in the comments, man, if you're pulling up to training camp. They're going to have free tickets eventually, so definitely stay tuned on that part. But overall, I'm excited for football to come back around. We got a little bit of a hiatus, but that's perfect, because guess what? You guys stay tuned for some videos dropping here. My schedule's been crazy, I'm going to be honest with y'all, but we got more videos coming through for sure. So definitely stay tuned. More player depth reviews and more players to be excited about in position battles. We'll be going through the whole nine, man. I will catch you guys on the next one. Yeah, have a blessed day. Peace.